whispers, no room for doubt. Parables drop stronger than gold faucets. Souls hydrated from divine prophets. Studied the book, changed perspectives. Carefully crafted, not too subjective. A year to reflect, learning perfect. Patterns of grace that time can't deflect. Old Testament drops deep and so real. Kings and warriors, covenant seals. Split that Red Sea, divine reveal. Commandments written, not made of steel. Bethlehem birth to cross on the hill. Unfolding the navic blessings, pastor with skill. Scripture flip, every verse fulfilled.
Through the word, every verse, every chapter, nothing unheard. Everybody in here blessed, I'm blessed. Everybody in here blessed, I'm blessed. Yo, online sermons, holy vibes delivered. Spreading light, got the sinners reconsidered. Psalm to psalm, man's like a holy DJ. Flipping through scripture, repping the Yahweh. Your emotes in the chat, praising the message. Flat cap on point, teaching eternal lessons. Everybody in here blessed, I'm blessed. Everybody in here blessed, I'm blessed. Digital pulpit, preaching like a pro. Followers grow as the faith overflow. Keyboard clicks, holy words they stick. Raining blessings down with a slick rhyme trick. Virtual congregation, united in devotion. 1 year strong, a spiritual promotion. He's a life coach with divine instructions. Streaming holiness, no room for interruption. Flat cap changed the game, new pastoral fame. Virtual shepherd, he's embracing the mainframe. In the comments, affirmatives and amens. With each Goliath tackled, faith extends. Everybody in here blessed, I'm blessed, I'm blessed. Everybody in here blessed, I'm blessed, I'm blessed. Yo, online sermons, holy vibes delivered. Spreading light, got the sinners reconsidered. Psalm to psalm, man's like a holy DJ. Flipping through scripture, repping the Yahweh. Your emotes in the chat, praising the message. Flat cap on point, teaching eternal lessons. Everybody in here blessed, I'm blessed, I'm blessed. Everybody in here blessed, I'm blessed, I'm blessed. Digital pulpit, preaching like a pro. Followers grow as the faith overflow. Keyboard clicks, holy words they stick. Raining blessings down with a slick rhyme trick. Virtual congregation, united in devotion. 1 year strong, a spiritual promotion. He's a life coach with divine instructions. Streaming holiness, no room for interruption. Flat cap changed the game, new pastoral fame. Virtual shepherd, he's embracing the mainframe. In the comments, affirmatives and amens. With each Goliath tackled, faith extends. Everybody in here blessed, I'm blessed, I'm blessed. 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 Digital pulpit, preaching like a pro. Followers grow as the faith overflow. Keyboard clicks, holy words they stick. Raining blessings down with a slick rhyme trick.
Welcome in, everybody. Look at the new setup. All right. Thought I was zoomed in too much. I zoomed out too much. Let's just go right back where I was. There we go. Welcome in. Welcome in. Welcome in. Well, that volume sounds like it is not where it should be. Let me check this out. What's going on here with the volume? Try changing the setting there, see if that gives me, let me see, does that do any higher? How about that? Is that, no, that's the same. That's the same. I'm just looking at my levels there. What do we got? Oh, tip of the cap, Galaxy. Tip of the cap, my friend. Good to have you in here. And a spot of tea. I got the English breakfast today. I've got the English breakfast, so we're good to go with that. So, hey, how did you like the new overlays there? I'm digging the new overlays. Okay, so just looking at, I need to switch that. There we go. I think we're good. Don't think I need to change any of that. Just playing with it, looking at it live, and feel happy with it. I think it looks good. Looks good on my screen. And check out the slideshow of my logos now. I don't know. I think it's cool. I wish that I had a few more animated stuff in there, like, but I didn't want it to be too busy. A few of them, you know, animate going in or out, which is kind of nice. And it will continue where it leaves off when I go to the next scene. So I don't know how I figured that one out. That one was not an intentional, I need to do that. It was, hey, look at me. Look at me. I figured out something cool. So, hope you're doing well, Galaxy. Good to have you in here. Got the Christmas theme rolling. Dun, dun, dun. And we'll see how this one goes. Now, okay, I'm not seeing anything in the chat. What's going on with the chat? Is it just me, or is it just waiting? Something's up with the chat. Maybe I got the layers wrong on the chat. Let me move the chat. There we go. There we go. Now chat is working. Excellent. Yep, I think I got it where I want it. Getting these layers and all of that, you know, not the super easiest thing to do, but fun nonetheless to play around with all of this. And logos now right there. And flipping through. And let me know what you think of the border that's moving around the whole outside. Is that too obnoxious? With it continuing to move all the way around. I don't know if that's nice, if it's entertaining, if it's obnoxious or not. I do know someone else that had a similar thing, and I thought I would try it. What I did, however, with the overlay that I had, I made it layered. I took that layer off, so it's a separate layer, so I can just go X and get rid of that layer and replace it with something else that's not a video. But let me know what you think about that. So, all right, we were in Daniel. Oh, yeah, we finished Daniel 2, so we're in Daniel 3. We'll see how far we get today. We'll see how far we can get in Daniel 3. Oh, this is the fun one. Lots of people like this. Maybe I'll change my my title just to see if I get more people in here. Rack, Shaq, and Benny. All right. Oh, by the way, you know what? Let me check on something a minute. Before we get started. I thought I did have. Oh, and I didn't get that done. All right, let me go to cam again. Let me check on my. Oh, that's not the one I want. It's Streamlabs, not Stream Elements, I believe. There it is. Need to check on the bot. Check on my commands. Come on. CloudBot. Sorry, not ChatBot. Ah, back to dashboard. There we go. Okay. Oh, is it a redeem? Maybe I'm wrong. Maybe it's in the other and it's a redeem. That's what it is. Community. Shoot. Bitch cheer, subs, settings, viewer rewards. There it is. Not what I'm looking for. Channel points. There we go. Power-ups and channel points. Okay. So I thought I have redeem Christmas song, and I probably turned it off. So I just need to go turn that back on because, you know, it's been off for a year. Learn a command, mod poll, tell Xmas story. There we go. Xmas song story. There we go. Turned it on. Okay. That should be good. That's what I was looking for. Okay. So now that's turned on. We should be good to go. So if you want to do a Christmas story of a song, we will have that up now. And be able to do that. All right, so we have the group of 4 that go into exile that we're focused on. Now, there are more people in exile, but apparently they are either not significant in many ways, or these 4 are so significant that we don't spend time on anyone else. And this story will point out a lot of questions and also have us wondering what's up with everyone else. So we've had Daniel and his friends not eating the king's food. That turns out well. We have Daniel and his friends interpreting a dream. So far, it really just looks like Daniel is the one doing things. Okay, so just to make sure that we know it's not Daniel alone, I think we have this next story. So, King Nebuchadnezzar had a golden statue made. It was 90 feet tall and 9 feet wide. Okay, they're going to tell us what the actual measurements here. 60 cubits and 6 cubits. Excuse me. Okay, it's just saying it's not based on normal proportions. Yeah, whatever. It doesn't matter. Okay. Then King Nebuchadnezzar sent out a summons to assemble the satraps, prefects, governors, counselors, treasurers, judges, magistrates, and all the other authorities of the province to attend the dedication of the statue that he had erected. Okay. This says everyone is supposed to be attending. Everyone else is supposed to be attending. That, like, reading that list. The satraps, the prefects, the governors, the counselors, the treasurers, the judges, the magistrates, and all other authorities. That would include the wise men, which is where Daniel and his friends are. So the satraps, prefects, governors, counselors, treasurers, judges, magistrates, and all the other provincial authorities assembled for the dedication of the statue that Nebuchadnezzar had erected. They were standing in front of the statue that Nebuchadnezzar erected. So I don't see in this lead up how Daniel is excluded from being there. It doesn't seem like Daniel should be excluded. Then the herald made a loud proclamation. To you, O peoples, nations, and language group, the following command is given. When you hear the sound of the horn, flute, zither, trigon, harp, pipes, and all kinds of music, you must bow down and pay homage to the golden statue that Nebuchadnezzar has erected. Whoever does not bow down and pay homage will immediately, if not sooner, be thrown into the midst of the furnace of blazing fire. Therefore, when they all heard the sound of the horn, flute, zither, trigon, harp, pipes, and all kinds of music, all the peoples, nations, and languages, groups, began bowing down and paying homage to the golden statue that Nebuchadnezzar had erected. Bring gifts, LOL. Good morning. How we doing, my friend? How we doing? Now, at that time, Chaldeans came forward and brought malicious accusation against the Jews. They said to King Nebuchadnezzar, "O king, live forever! You have issued an edict, O king, that everyone must bow down and pay homage to the golden statue. When they hear the sound of the horn, flute, zither, trigon, harp, pipes, and all kinds of music." Like, why couldn't we just, like, say all kinds of music? There was supposed to be some kind of crescendoing echo here, I think, in the resounding all of this. Like, how could you resist? The horn, the flute, the zither, the trigon, the harps, the pipes, and all kinds of music. Seven, totality, completeness. Boom, when you completely hear everything going off, all the noise, you know it's time. You can't miss it. And whoever does not bow down and pay homage must be thrown into the midst of a blazing fire. But there are Jewish men whom you appointed over the administration of the province of Babylon, Shadrach, Meshach, and Abednego, and these men have not shown proper respect to you, O king. They don't serve your gods, and they don't pay homage to the golden statue that you have erected. Okay, so one of the things that we notice when we get into these stories in Babylon, it happens here, it also happens in Esther, there is a bunch of jealousy that happens, a bunch of animosity, and people look for an opportunity to get someone else in trouble, turn them in, do something else nefarious if they can. So I'm just noticing border issue there that's going to bug me until I fix it. So fixing it I am. There we go. You probably couldn't even see. I just shifted to close that gap where the light was peeking in between the video and the border. Probably nobody cares. By the way, Subdue, what do you think of the new overlays? Do you like it? Is it too busy with the border movement going around, the light chasing itself constantly? Is that too much? Is it okay? Let me know your thoughts. Okay, so one of the questions that people always ask is, where is Daniel? I don't know. But Daniel may be somewhere else in this processional and and alignment, and these guys didn't notice Daniel because they weren't concerned with Daniel. They were upset with Shadrach, Meshach, and Abednego and looking for an opportunity to go after him. It's spacey but clean. Oh, cool. Cool, thanks. Yeah, it was like one overlay. I made it into 3. So the video is separate so I could take that out if it gets too busy or if I need to adjust the speed. I've got it at half speed of what it had set up. And I went to a quarter speed, and quarter speed looked a little bit too slow, like it really wasn't moving. But the other one was too fast. Like, I wish it was like a little bit more subtle in the drag line, but I liked it nonetheless. And I wish it was purple and gold rather than pink and blue, but I think that part's fine. Then Nebuchadnezzar, in a fit of rage against the machine, in fit of rage, demanded that they bring Shadrach, Meshach, and Abednego before him. So they brought them before the king. Nebuchadnezzar said to them, "Is it true, Shadrach, Meshach, and Abednego, that you do not serve my gods, and that you do not pay homage to the golden statue that I erected? Now, if if you are ready, when you hear the sound of the horn, flute, zither, trigon, harp, pipes, and all kinds of music, you must bow down and pay homage to the statue that I had made. Yeah, I get what you're saying. It's a little bold, bright for something moving on the screen, but you like it. Yeah. Yeah, it was just kind of like is it distracting and ongoing. Oh, by the way, check out my logo. I am super stoked about the logo box. Instead of it busy all over the place, there's just one logo box, and the logo changes. I got that idea from one of the streamers on Blessing Boat. They had just 3 that just swiped through like a slideshow, and I'm like, man, that would be so good. So that's what I worked on yesterday. Yeah, I feels like a huge improvement. It does. Yeah, less clutter, exactly. Okay. So Nebuchadnezzar. Bum ba bum bum. Now if if you are ready, when you hear the sound of the horn, flute, zither, trigon, harp, pipe, and all kinds of music, you must bow down and pay homage to the statue that I have made. If if you do not pay homage to it, you will immediately, if not sooner, be thrown into the midst of the furnace of blazing fire. Now, who is that God who can rescue you from my power? He's already been introduced to the God who has this power with Daniel in the previous chapter. Okay. I think we're at the third or the fourth time that it is. Now the flute. Now the flute. Like, could you not hear the resounding, the flute, the flute, the flute, the flute, the flute? Okay, let's see. Here's the herald proclaiming. Let me go back and count. So we have flute right there. Once. Two. Come on, scroll. 3. 4. Okay, so we're at 4. Okay, so who is this God who can save you? I mean, from my power. Ooh, the arrogance. Ooh, the arrogance there. From my hand. Yes. Oh, I like the hand better because the hand is the hand that can act. The outstretched hand of God is the one with power and might. So it implies power. But saying the hand, I would go with the hand. Okay. Shadrach, Meshach, and Abednego replied to King Nebuchadnezzar, we do not need to give you a reply concerning this. Like, we ain't even got to say nothing. Like, it don't matter. You know what? I hear a noise over here. Let me check. Somewhere I must have something up that is not muted. Sorry, I've got my other computer up and... It's so weird. Is that it there? That's my dashboard. Oh, that's for One Dapper Koi Pond, so that's not it. Where do I have an unmuted channel that it's picking it up? Unless it's just picking up my voice and... Weird. I don't know. I swear I can hear myself on my other computer there. Papstio, good morning. Welcome in, friend. Okay, I'm being distracted. I swear I can still hear it. It's like this subtle little quiet in the background. Oh, well. If our God, whom we serve, exists... Ooh, what is that? If he exists. The Aramaic expression used here is very difficult to interpret. The question concerning the meaning and the syntax of ite is or exists. So it's either our God serving is or exists. There are several possibilities. Some interpreters take the word closely with the participle later in the verb able, understanding the two words perform a periphrastic contrast, if our God is able. But the separation of the two elements from one another is not an argument in favor of this understanding. Other interpreters take the first part, if it is so, then our God will deliver us. However, the normal sense of iste, or ite, is existence on this point. The present translation maintains the sense of existence for the verb if our God exists, even though the statement is admittedly difficult to understand in this light. The statement may be an implicit reference back to Nebuchadnezzar's command in verse 15, which denies the existence of a God capable of delivering the king's power. Thus, the statement is rhetorical, adapted to the perspective of the person they are addressing. I like that. That's how I think I've seen it. If he's able to exist, because you say no such person could exist. Which, if we go back to the previous one, when someone could interpret, no person could interpret, only the gods could interpret, and Daniel does it, not Daniel, but God reveals it to him. So this would seem in contrast also to the other passage we already covered with Daniel. Okay. If he exists, which you say no God could exist that does that, then our God is able to do this, and he will rescue us, O king, from your power as well. But if, if he does not, let it be known to you, O king, that we don't serve your gods, and we will not pay homage to the golden statue that you have erected. So if our God exists, he'll deliver us. If he doesn't exist, we're still not doing it. Okay, we usually have read this a different way. If he does rescue us, then, he is capable of rescuing us, but if he doesn't, we still won't bow down to you. I like this a little sharper, like, if he exists, he will rescue us. If he doesn't exist, he won't rescue us. I like that. A little bit more direct in their belief that God exists and he's going to rescue us, as opposed to, well, even if he doesn't, we're still going to serve him. It's kind of like I think that might be where we learn the phrase and say it. Well, I know God's able to heal, but if he doesn't, then I'm still going to serve him. And it's like, do you believe he can or not? A little bit more strength in the I believe he can and I believe he will sometimes feels needed, but I don't know. Maybe that's me. Then Nebuchadnezzar, filled with rage, and his disposition changed towards Shadrach, Meshach, and Abednego. He gave orders to heat the furnace 7 times hotter than it was normally heated. Okay, 7 being totally hotter, completely hotter. Okay, so what's interesting, I've seen a study on how the system would have been with these furnaces that they set up. And if you've ever burned on a grill, or a large area, what happens is you get hot and cold spots in there. Okay, so there are places where the combustion is happening, and you have because not every place in a fire is going to be of equal temperature. You're going to have where there is less oxygen, where the carbon dioxide, where there are fluid dynamics would be a way to, like the heat movement of things. There will be hot spots and cold spots within a fire. Now, granted, the whole thing is piping hot, and even if you're within, range of a fire, even if there's cold spots within there, you would feel that. So that doesn't explain what happens, but it does explain an interesting thing that he does by heating it 7 times hotter. Maybe he contributes to the actual fact that they survive. Like, and if that is true, then his rage turns against him. That's the part I like about that idea. Not that there's no miracle here happening. Oh, there's still a miracle here happening. Totally there's a miracle here happening. But maybe Nebuchadnezzar is contributing to the miracle against his own will. That's the part I like about that idea and thinking that through. Okay. He ordered strong soldiers in his army to tie up Shadrach, Meshach, and Abednego and throw them into the furnace of blazing fire. So the men were tied up while they were wearing their cloaks, trousers, turbans, and other clothes. Why are we getting this information? Why would he burn up their clothes? Why wouldn't he? Because he just doesn't care about it. It's do it now. So they have all their clothes on. Doesn't take them and strip them down and embarrass them and shame them by taking their clothes. We are doing this now. He's so enraged. But since the king man was so urgent and the furnace was so excessively hot, the men who escorted Shadrach, Meshach, and Abednego were killed by the leaping flames. Ooh, I like that image. The leaping flames. What is the flame of fire? The raging flames. Ooh. But those three men, Shadrach, Meshach, and Abednego, fell into a burning ring of fire. Fell into the furnace, a burning ring of fire. They went down, down, down. While still securely bound. Okay, so seeing these furnaces, it would be like you would drop them in from the top. Okay, so they go in from the top. They open up the door for the flame, or they get close to it and the flames leap out, kill other people, and Shadrach, Meshach, and Abednego go falling into the furnace. So there you have them falling into the furnace. I mean, I think we usually picture it of a door and they go in and out, a ring of fire, furnace of fire, furnace of fire. Then King Nebuchadnezzar was startled and quickly got up. He said to his ministers, "Wasn't there 3 men that we tied up and threw into the fire?" They replied to the king, "For sure, O king." That's just a weird translation. He answered, "But I see 4 men untied." See, they went in tied up. Now they are untied and walking around in the midst of the fire. No harm has come to them. And the appearance of the 4th is like that of a god. Then Nebuchadnezzar approached the door of the furnace of the blazing fire. He called out, "Shadrach, Meshach, and Abednego, servants of the Most High God, come out." Okay, so he witnessed the thing with Daniel interpreting dreams. Only Daniel's God could do that. He doesn't believe Shadrach, Meshach, and Abednego's God could exist because no God could do this. Now he recognizes that he does. Now, the thing that people get debates on, okay? So I don't care what your view is on this, okay? The phrase, "and the 4th has an appearance like that of a god." Okay, let me go look up what the word God here is. The phrase "like that of a god" is in Aramaic like that of a son of the gods. Okay, most patristic writers understood this phrase in a Christological sense, son of God, but it should be remembered that those are words spoken by a pagan who is seeking to explain things from his own polytheistic frame of reference. For him, the phrase "son of the gods" is equivalent to "like a divine being." Despite the king's description, though, the 4th person probably was an angel who had come to deliver the 3 men, or was a theophany. Okay, so there's really our 2 possibilities. Hey, Artsy, welcome in. Is whether or not this is an angel, and if we go back to phrases that happen when the sons of God, that's lower, so that is the spiritual realm, the spiritual beings, the sons of God are the angels, saw that the daughters of men were good looking. That's the same kind of phrase that we have here. Son of the gods. Okay, gods plural. So this is a angelic being or a spiritual being of some kind, is what Nebuchadnezzar is saying. He says he recognizes this to not be human, but to be supernatural. Okay, so that part is clear. It could be like we have with a couple of places in the Old Testament where it shows up as three men who come, and then it says, my Lord. So then is one of them God? And then it is the angels go forward. So we have that in a couple of different places where the burning bush, where we have the burning bush, and then we have the voice of God, and we have the appearance of an angel, and so we can jump around within those things. So we don't have to nail this down. There are a lot of people that want to see a pre-incarnate Christ, and my whole problem is, how can you have pre-incarnate? Because if he is in the flesh, he's in the flesh. So if this is Jesus himself in the flesh, then why does Jesus need to be born? Like that's part of my problem. The theological framework of having a pre-incarnate Christ negates the need for a Christ to be incarnate at all, then, in some way. And I know you can argue against that, but to me, there seems to be either he didn't exist until he was born. I mean, he didn't exist in the flesh. Let me put it that way. He doesn't exist in the flesh until he is born of flesh. So then if there is some image of him taking, it causes more problems than it solves. And I think we just are trying to look back. Now, if you want to say it's the second Yahweh figure, it is the angel of God, who is the second Yahweh, who then we see as Christ. It doesn't feel the same way as going in the direction of saying pre-incarnate Christ. And if you don't understand what I'm talking about at all, that's okay. Okay? This is what happens when you get into theological discussions and debates. You get to the level of confusing and not helpful. And then there is the reason why I don't usually go in that direction. So, anyway. Oh, for sure, King. Yeah. I missed that. Yeah. Oh, for sure, King. Yes. Okay, well, let's keep going. So, anyway, it's angelic. Wade says, the New King James have a more bias towards Son of God, Daniel. He said, look, I see 4 men loose and walking about in the midst of the fire without harm, and the appearance of the fourth is like a son of the gods. Oh, that's Nasby that showed up. Mel, good morning. Subdue. I like to wrestle with the text, not from my own mind can make out things. Yes. I also think that the point of what Nebuchadnezzar thinks and says has to be from a pagan perspective. Okay? It cannot be from a New Testament believer perspective. Okay? So perhaps he is declaring some truth that he doesn't realize how true he's declaring it to be. So, there we go. He answered and said, lo, I see 4 men loose, walking in the midst of the fire, and they have no hurt. And the fourth of the forms is like the Son of God. Oh, okay. So they go with, yes. And I think this is an older approach. Oh, what do we got? Oh, Hobo Bob, thank you for the sub. Appreciate it, friend. Appreciate it. The King James does not like to use lower G gods. And the thing is you have plural of majesty or you have plural. Okay? So that's one of the arguments is, when is it plural of majesty? When it's talking about God, the God, in a plural sense, because God is majestic, and the word is Elohim, plural, not Elohim, singular. So that's part of the translation there is this plural lowercase g gods, or is it plural God singular, God of majesty? So that's why, and I think the older translations didn't have quite that same, or they always went with majesty as a default would be the thing, because they didn't want to talk about there being multiple gods. By the way, thoughts on the disappearing chat? Is that a good thing? Is that not a good thing? Should I leave it up there longer? Should I just leave the chat not disappear? Love your thoughts on that. And anything else on the new setup. Okay. So come out. So he calls to them to come out. Then Shadrach, Meshach, and Abednego emerged from the fire, once the satraps, prefects, governors, and ministers of the king had gathered around. Notice the list is shorter this time. We had a longer list before. We had it repeated. Now we've kind of abbreviated it a little bit. They saw that those men were physically unharmed by the fire. So, physically unharmed. That's miraculous. The hair on their heads was not singed. Miraculous. Nor were their trousers damaged. Miraculous. Not even the smell of fire was to be found on them. Totally miraculous. Okay. So, like, if you don't want to believe this is miraculous, like I was explaining that, you know, there are hot spots and cold spots. You can make a fire, do that. That doesn't explain no singeing of hair from the heat, no smell of smoke, no damage to their clothes from being in there. You cannot explain away those four things that are proof of what it is. You prefer a long time out chat, but that's just a preference, and that looks like people are talking. Yeah, that's what I was wondering too. I'm playing with it, so I'm totally good with adjusting, and I think I have it set on 70 seconds. Yeah, so if you come in and there's more in there, it looks like more people are talking. I also could just leave it up too. But there's a part at which it feels like if it's a 5-minute old message, maybe it doesn't need to be in there. I don't know. I'm open to opinions, and I like your feedback, but I was having fun making this all yesterday, so. Okay, so they don't even smell like smoke. To me, that's the most astounding one. Like, if you've ever sat around a campfire, you don't have to get close, and you smell like smoke. Nebuchadnezzar exclaimed, "Praise be the God of Shadrach, Meshach, and Abednego, who has sent forth his angel." Okay, what word do we have there? The king identifies the Son of God as an angel. Comparable Hebrew expressions are used elsewhere in the Hebrew Bible for the members of angelic assembly. So he says it was one like a son of the gods, and now he says it's an angel. Okay. This is his understanding, okay? It's the way he perceives it. This doesn't have to be actual, nor does Shadrach and Meshach and Abednego need to correct him if he's wrong. Okay. Now, the author, if the author wanted to interject, right here would be where it would say, but Shadrach, Meshach, and Abednego knew that it actually was the second Yahweh figure, or that it was actually God. I mean, that would be where you'd put it in there. So we don't have that. We don't need to. We can wrestle with who it is. We can debate about if it is God himself, if it is Christ, if it is an angel, what it is. Doesn't matter. It was sent by God. That's the important part. And has rescued his servants who trusted in him, ignoring the edict of the king and giving up their bodies rather than serve and pay homage to any god other than their own God. There's the beautiful statement. They trusted in him, ignoring the edict of the king and giving up their bodies. Okay, so trust, ignore, and giving up. There were the three things that he sees that they did, rather than pay homage to any god other than their God. I hereby decree that any people, nation, or language group that blasphemes the God of Shadrach, Meshach, and Abednego will be dismembered and his home reduced to rubble, for there exists no other God who can deliver in this way. Then Nebuchadnezzar promoted Shadrach, Meshach, and Abednego in the province of Babylon. Okay, so notice he does not go and convert to simply saying, now I will worship their God. He says, no, your God has a different power than any other God. He still thinks that other gods exist, but he has now recognized a second time that the God of the Israelites is different, is completely different than any other God, and has powers that other gods do not have. King Nebuchadnezzar, to all the peoples, nations, and language groups that live in the land, peace and prosperity. I am delighted to tell you about the signs and wonders that the Most High God has done for me. That's quite fascinating. Tell us more. Oh, you know what? Let me just. Yeah, I think we're fine. I'm just looking at time. We're good. I was thinking, when is break coming in? Lurk, taking the kids to school. Thanks, Papsio. Appreciate you, friend. How great are his signs? How mighty are his wonders? His kingdom will last forever, and his authority continues from one generation to the next. So this is Nebuchadnezzar declaring praise. And again, we have a discrepancy within the Hebrew chapters and the later English chapters. I, Nebuchadnezzar, was relaxing in my home, living luxuriously in my palace. I saw a dream that frightened me badly. The things I imagined while lying on my bed, these visions of my mind, were terrifying me. So I issued an order to all the wise men of Babylon to be brought before me so that they could make known to me the interpretation of the dream. Okay, so notice what we did. We have the dream, we have the interpretation, we have Daniel and his friends elevated. We then have the king acting foolishly and Daniel's friends not complying, and then they end up elevated. Now we're having Nebuchadnezzar retell the story in his own words. I think that's fun. Okay. When the Hobo Bob, I am curious of how many people in the Bible times, even followers of God, also had polytheistic view of the world. Not likely something we can know. No. But also, if you're not familiar with, Bob, what's called the Deuteronomy 32 worldview, it comes from, and it directly ties into what we're talking about here. So it says the sons of God in there, and God laying out the nations according to the number of the sons of God. So the sons of God, that language, or lowercase God, which is Elohim, doesn't mean that they are actually gods, but they are spiritual beings. And so since somewhere along the way, the emphasis of there being only one God and only one true God, the downplay of spiritual realm has come into place. Now, maybe it's since the Enlightenment that we have had that emphasis, so that we have downplayed that there are any other actual gods. So we've made them into these foolish people who believe there were gods, and they're not really God. There aren't any gods, and they're worshiping wood, hay, and stubble. Well, that's the accusation against them. But that behind that wood, hay, and stubble is probably a spiritual being of some kind that does have some kind of power to be able to give. Now, there is only one true God. The others are spiritual beings that were created by that God. And so whether you have that view or don't, so Nebuchadnezzar would be a person who recognizes there's a spiritual realm and spiritual beings with power. They think they're gods. They're not really gods. Okay? They claim to be gods. They're not really gods. There's only one true God. So in that regard, the people of God, who follow God, who are the people who come out of Israel, see that these other spiritual beings exist. They see that their powers, they have a hard time differentiating between, based on they have power. They can do things. They carry out stuff. Curses happen. They can tell omens. They can do all these things. So one of the ways to kind of think through this, if you've never heard it before, is why would God make a prohibition against doing divination and spiritual things and fortune telling if that kind of thing wasn't real? If it wasn't real, you wouldn't need a prohibition against it, okay? I don't need a prohibition that says, don't flap your wings and fly away. Can't happen, okay? I don't need a prohibition against swimming across the Atlantic Ocean underneath the water. Can't happen. I can't breathe there. So, those kinds of things. So hope that makes sense. But yeah, it's a good thought. Ahmed Racing, hey, welcome in. Yeah, we're talking about Daniel today. Is this similar to the Nephilim? Yes. I would say absolutely connected with the Nephilim of being the sons of God. So the Deuteronomy 2 does connect with the Nephilim in some way. So you have this image that happens of when God established the nations according to the number of the sons of God. That number is 70 or 72, depending upon where you read it. And there'll be some connection between the Nephilim. How exactly we debate about that, because the Bible doesn't explain it, and we go to the book of Enoch to kind of get some explanation. So, anyway, we can understand them all as spiritual beings. So, and then in the New Testament, the fallen spiritual beings are called demons. In the Old Testament, there's not, other than the Nephilim, so much a distinction of a good or an evil spirit. They're just from the spiritual realm, and their actions tell you what they are. So they're essentially falsely attributing to other spiritual beings to being other gods. Yes, that is my best understanding of it, Bob, that's how it is. Ahmed, am I welcome? Although you're absolutely, Ahmed. Anybody of any beliefs is totally welcome here. You are welcome to engage and ask questions. I'll also say, Ahmed, I do believe, if I'm correct, that in the Quran, and I've not read it all myself. I've read portions of it, but it does talk about, reading the books of Abrahamic religions and Abrahamic followers, which would be the Old Testament and New Testament. So I wouldn't think there'd be anything wrong. Now, I don't know you're a mom. I don't know your particular branch of it, but I do believe the Quran does talk about reading the scriptures, and so you're welcome here. Oh yeah, the seven sons of Sceva. Yeah, they are actually practicing and following. Yeah, we're reading in Daniel today, so we're just to Daniel 4. Archie, Jesus, I know, and Paul, I have heard of, but who are you? Yes, the seven sons of Sceva. They are real spiritual beings who are doing things there. Thank you for the follow, friend. Absolutely. Yeah, like I say, we read the Bible. I think that the best part about it is engaging in conversation around it. What do you see? What do you hear? What have you heard? What questions do you have? It's not just me here to tell you everything. There's lots of videos you can go watch if that's what you're looking for. Yes, and you also distract me with questions so he doesn't move fast through the Bible reading. No. We should be here. I'll show you the schedule we have for the year. We're getting close to the end of the year, and we just finished November 27's reading. So we're about 2 weeks plus behind, something like that. We're maybe 3 weeks behind, whatever it is. So we enjoy our conversation. Yeah, we're making progress. Exactly. Okay, so Nebuchadnezzar is now recounting all the things and declaring them to the provinces of what he's had for interactions with the God of Abraham, the God of Shadrach, Meshach, and Abednego, and Daniel. Okay, so I saw the dream. We were down a little further. The wise men brought to me before so they could make known to me the interpretation of the dream. When the magicians, astrologers, wise men, and diviners entered. See, they're practicing these things because they are talking to the spiritual realm. They are not talking to God, but they are talking to spiritual beings who may be claiming to be God, and they are understood to be gods because they make claims and they have power that are unknown. I recounted the dream for them, but they were unable to make its interpretation known to me. Notice how he just downplayed. In the story up above, Daniel had to tell the dream. Now, Nebuchadnezzar saying he gave the dream and they couldn't do it. Later, Daniel entered, whose name is Belteshazzar, after the name of my God. Interesting. Excuse me. And in whom there is a spirit of the holy God. So, the set-apart God. So he notices there's something about the Elohim in which Daniel follows, which is set apart and different from the other Elohim, the other gods that he knows of. Excuse me, I have a cough for some reason. Or a tickle in my throat. I'm going to grab a cough drop here. I just tell you that because if you suddenly hear me clinking with my teeth, that's what that's going to be. Okay. I recounted the dream for him as well. Interesting. Look at, he is saying he recounted the dream. We read up above and he said, I'm not falling for telling you the dream and then you can't, and then you can just make up whatever interpretation you want. You better tell me the dream. So when Nebuchadnezzar telling the story, he's changing the facts. Saying, Belshazzar, chief of the magicians, in whom I know there is to be a spirit of the holy gods, and whom no mystery baffles. Consider my dream that I saw and set forth its interpretation. Here are the visions of my mind while I was on my bed. Okay, now we're going to get the dream. While I was watching, there was a tree in the middle of the land. It was enormous and tall. The tree grew large and strong. Its top reached far into the sky. It could be seen from the borders of all the land. Its foliage. Okay, so this is different. Maybe I'm wrong. Maybe this time I was thinking that he was recounting. Maybe I'm wrong. Maybe he's telling of a second dream that he had. That must be what's going on, because I thought he was going to talk about the statue, and he didn't make them tell. Now, must be another case. I'm wrong. I thought he was recounting. This isn't. He's telling of a new occasion that we don't know of, but telling about it from the past. It could be seen from the borders of the land. Its foliage was attractive, and its fruit plentiful. And on it there was enough food for all. Under it the wild animals used to seek shade, and in its branches the birds of the sky used to nest. All creatures used to feed themselves from it. While I was watching in my mind's vision on my bed, a holy sentinel came down from heaven. He called out loudly as follows, Chop down the tree and lop off its branches, strip off its foliage and scatter its fruit. Let the animals flee from under it and the birds from its branches, but leave its taproot in the ground with a band of iron and bronze around it. Surrounded by the grass of the field, let it become damp with the dew of the sky, and let it live with animals in the grass of the land. Let his mind be altered from that of a human being, and let an animal's mind be given to him. And let 7 periods of time go by for him, 7 being the number of totality and completeness. This announcement is by the decree of the sentinels. This decision is by the pronouncement of the Holy One, so that those who are alive may understand that the Most High has authority over human kingdoms, and he bestows them on whoever he wishes. He establishes over them even the lowliest of human beings. Okay, I just love reading about Nebuchadnezzar from this standpoint. It doesn't matter who my king, president, or tyrant, dictator of where I live is. God is ultimately in control, and God establishes it, so I don't have to worry. I do want to go back and look at Sentinel here. What is the footnote on Sentinel? I read through it because I wanted to read the whole thing. Thought it was here at the beginning. Oh, here it is, the Holy Sentinel. Okay. Aram, a watcher and a holy one. Okay. So a watcher and a holy one. The expression is a Hendiades, and also this watcher is apparently an angel. Angelos here in the Greek version, the LXX. Theodotion simply translates the Aramaic word The term is sometimes rendered sentinel or messenger. Okay, if you're going with messenger, you're going in the angel direction. If you're going watcher, you're making a connection probably to the book of Enoch. So this is a watcher, one who is coming, one of the spiritual realm, regardless of what we think and understand it to be. This is the dream that I, King Nebuchadnezzar, saw. Now you, Belshazzar, declare its interpretation, for none of the wise men in my kingdom are able to make known to me the interpretation. But you can do so, for the Spirit of the Holy God is in you. Then Daniel, whose name is also Belshazzar. Notice how it's like you're getting this repetition. His name has to do with my God, but his name has to do with his God. This fighting and wrestling between the two was upset for a brief time. His thoughts were alarming him. He said, the king said, Belshazzar, don't let the dream and its interpretation alarm you. But Belshazzar replied, Sir, if only the dream were for your enemies and its interpretation applied to your adversaries. The tree that you saw that grew large and strong, whose top reaches to the sky and that could be seen in all the land, whose foliage was attractive and its fruit plentiful, and from which there was food available for all, under whose branches wild animals used to live, and in whose branches birds of the sky used to nest. It is you, O king. So look, you have to repeat the whole thing. Again, if you think about this as meant to be heard aloud, you repeat the thing, you recount it, you hear it ringing in your ear again. For you have become great and strong. Your greatness is such that it reaches to the heavens, your authority to the ends of the earth. As for the king, seeing a holy sentinel come down from heaven and saying, Chop down the tree and destroy it, but leave its taproot in the ground with a band of iron and bronze around it, surrounded by the grass of the field. Let it become, you're just telling the whole thing again. Let it become damp with the dew of the sky, and let it live with the wild animals until 7 periods of time go by for him. This is the interpretation, O king. It is the decision of the Most High that this has happened to my lord the king. You will be driven from human society, and you will live with the wild animals. You will be fed grass like oxen. You will become damp with the dew of the sky. 7 periods of time will pass by for you before you understand that the Most High is ruler over human kingdoms and gives them to whomever he wishes. They said to leave the taproot of the tree, for your kingdom will be restored to you when you come to understand that heaven rules. Therefore, O king, may my advice be pleasing to you. Break away from your sins by doing what is right, and from your iniquities by showing mercy to the poor. Perhaps your prosperity will be prolonged. So, showing mercy to the poor is one of the things he needs to do. He needs to change his ways, show mercy to the poor. He's not doing that. So that's what he needs to do. Like, we think of confess your sins, do that. Well, this is his sin. The way he treats people, the way he acts, the arrogance, the belligerence, the violence. Change. Chop down that tree. Hey, KX, welcome in. Now, all of this happened to King Nebuchadnezzar after 12 months. He happened to be walking around the battlements of the royal palace of Babylon. The king uttered these words, Is this not the great Babylon that I have built for a royal residency by my own mighty strength and for my majestic honor. While these words were still on the king's lips, a voice came down from heaven. It is hereby announced to you, King Nebuchadnezzar, that your kingdom has been removed from you. You will be driven from human society, and you will live with the wild animals. You will be fed grass like the oxen, for 7 periods of time will pass by for you before you understand that the Most High is ruler over human kingdoms and gives them to whomever he wishes. Now, in that very moment, oops, on snooze again. In that very moment, this pronouncement about Nebuchadnezzar came true. He was driven from human society. He ate the grass like oxen, and his body became damp with the dew of the sky, until his hair became long like an eagle's feathers, and his nails like a bird's claws. Okay, so we had the repeat, 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 repeat. Now it's coming true. Oh, something added. Hair grows, nail grows. He is becoming an animal, an unkept animal. But at the end of the appointed time, I, Nebuchadnezzar, looked up toward heaven, and my sanity returned to me. So he writing this afterwards. He writes this afterwards, not beforehand. I extol the Most High, and I praise and glorify the one who lives forever, for his authority is an everlasting authority, and his kingdom extends from one generation to the next. All the inhabitants of the earth are regarded as nothing. He does as he wishes with the army of heaven, and with those who inhabit the earth. No one slaps his hand and says to him, "What have you done?" Okay, what's that? No one lifts up my eyes. All right, I'm just not going to go down that. I get what the translation is doing, but it's a weird jump from lifting up your eyes to slapping hands, but okay. At that time, my sanity returned to me. I was restored to the honor of my kingdom, and my splendor returned to me. My ministers and my nobles were seeking me out, and I was reinstated over my kingdom. I became even greater than before. Now I, Nebuchadnezzar, praise and exalt and glorify the King of heaven, for all his deeds are right, and all his ways are just. He is able to bring down those who live in pride. High fives! Yay, high fives all around, the king's back. Okay, now 7 periods of time means a total number of time, but how much time is that? Is it 7 years? Is it 7 months? Is it 6 months instead of 7? Is it 7 moons and moon festivals? I don't think we need to know. Now, what would be fascinating, and I don't know that this has happened, is if we had records in Babylon that talked about King Nebuchadnezzar having a leave of absence, if you will. That would be a pretty fun thing to have and find. I don't know that we found that. Okay. I know we're coming up towards an ad break. What I'm going to do, I need to refill my mug. My second mug had some leftovers, and I put it in the fridge, so I made more. So I need to go get that. So I'm going to give you my BRB screen, which I've been working on all of my overlays and revamping, and so you'll get to check out another screen. So hopefully everything's working on it, and you can let me know. So I will BRB. Putting on the Ritz. Tip of the cap, friend. Tip of the cap. Looks like nice old growth hardwood though. Actually, what happened there behind the wall is the washing machine, and the washing machine hot water side ended up with a leak that we did not know about, and so it was leaking underneath all of that hardwood there, and so that hardwood got warped because of the really, really bad water leak. So yeah, that's just in the hallway section. So it does need resurfaced, refinished. But good eye on picking that up. Yeah, it to begin with, there were really warped and gaps between, and was going to have to do some other stuff with that. Yeah, always love to choose the dancing shoes, but you're biased. Yeah, yeah. All right. Since we're in the ad break, if you're here, we're gonna go over to the fish cam. I did finally get that set up. So there we go. And I still got to work on getting this other cam up and running. Sorry about that. Oh, I just kind of did some, yeah, cleaning of it and then trying to add oils to it so that the wood could, get restored. But yeah, I do need to do a bunch of sanding in several places around. All right, gonna feed the fish. Oh, no worries on the critique. It was one that what I really need to do is sand it and do all of that, and I just don't want to do that work. So that was an issue that happened, and it was more a matter of just trying to get it back to functional. Uh, at some point, perhaps when I like, there's two bedrooms that are right next to that. When I pull the carpet out and I replace hardwood in there, maybe that's the time to resurface the whole hallway, the dining room, the kitchen. Um, if you go to my Discord channel, there should be a um, a picture of the hardwood that I did in the living room, which I'm really really proud of that. I've got a nice border of uh, dark oak, and then I've got an inlay of light maple, and then in front of the fireplace, I did what looks like an area rug out of light maple with dark oak around it. So I think it's really, really cool. So if you haven't seen that, that should be over my Discord channel. Look what I made. Probably close to the beginning of that channel. And and that, by the way, is the first time I laid hardwood floor. I decided to do that design. So my daughter and son-in-law have done a re sanding down and resurfacing of hardwood before, and I know other people that have done it. Like, man, it's just like seems like so much work to do that. And what I don't know is if I've got two different woods next to each other and I'm sanding them down and resurfacing, I need to do some like, is there an issue with the two different surfaces of redoing those? And what was disappointing, so the hardwood I got was all pre-finished, and like you can walk across the floor and like, oh my goodness, it's got to be like a 1/32 of an inch difference in tolerance there, but you can hit ridges as you walk across, like when it was first put in. That was a little disappointing, but all right. Bob, my last few houses had real hardwood, but this most recent project I used vinyl. So much faster and easy to do. Yeah, well, behind me, I'm in the basement, so um, I did put like this room only. The rest of the basement doesn't have it. I did put a subfloor in here with insulation, so I could choose to at some point actually replace this with hardwood because there is uh, a a gap in there that any water could drain out, so I could actually do that. But otherwise, it was cement, and having waterproof flooring made the most sense in here. So that's why I have it. But otherwise, my plan at some point is to have everything upstairs to be hardwood or ceramic tile. So you got yours at Sam's Club? Okay. I got mine at Menards. All right. The Home Improvement Show brought to you by Bellawood Floors. Bellawood Floors, because wood's in the name. Okay. King Belshazzar prepared a great banquet. Okay, you got it out of your system? Okay. Aramaic, Belshazzar spoke. Okay, we're on to the next king. Yeah, some of you can appreciate the wood floor talk. Yeah, I know. I knew you would. Okay. So King Belshazzar prepared a great banquet for 1,000 of his nobles, and he was drinking wine in front of them all. While under the influence of wine, okay, that's an interesting phrase. Or perhaps when he had tasted, in the sense of officially initiating the commencement of the banquet, the translation above seems preferable. However, given the clear evidence of inebriation in the context, he got drunk and ordered. Belshazzar. So look at, we just switched kings. Like, what happened? We don't know. We got a new king. Driving under the influence of wine. Well, don't drink and pronounce. Don't proclaim under the influence. Don't drink an edict. Maybe that's it. He issued an order to bring in the gold and silver vessels, the one Nebuchadnezzar, his father, had confiscated from the temple in Jerusalem, so that the kings and the nobles, together with his wives and his concubines, could drink from them. So he's drunk and he's like, man, we're going to have some good time. We're going to drink from some good glasses. These were glasses for the gods. That's not going to work out well, my friend. So they brought the gold and silver vessels that had been confiscated from the temple of the house of God in Jerusalem, and the king and his nobles, together with his wives and concubines, drank from them. As they drank wine, they praised the gods of gold and silver, bronze, iron, wood, and stone. So this is the son of King Nebuchadnezzar. So though King Nebuchadnezzar does seem to potentially, at the end of his reign, end of his life, maybe follow after the one true God, his son didn't get that memo. Hey, welcome in, I'm watching. Good to see you. By the way, go follow I'm watching you people. Gonna be doing a 12 jigs of Christmas jigsaw puzzles every day at 3 p.m. EST until Christmas. So you need someone to hang out with. You need someone to just have a great conversation. You need some funny joking around. Go follow I'm watching you people. And I know many of you probably already are. So, but I just got to say it. At that very moment, the finger of a human hand appeared and wrote on the plaster of the royal palace wall, opposite the lampstand. The king was watching the back of the hand that was writing. Then all the color drained from the king's face, and he became alarmed. The joints of his hips gave way, and his knees began knocking together. The king called out loudly to summon the astrologers, wise men, and diviners. The king proclaimed to the wise men of Babylon that anyone who could read the inscription and disclose its interpretation would be clothed in purple and have a golden collar placed on his neck and be third ruler in the kingdom. Ooh, thumbprint cookies. That'll do. Thank you. So, he's terrified that this hand writes on the wall. Yes, wedding of the knee. Yes. So all the king's wise men came in, but they were unable to read the writing or make known its interpretation to the king. Then King Belshazzar was very terrified, and he was visibly shaken. His nobles were completely dumbfounded. Like, we're just drinking, and his hand shows up and writes on the wall and ruins our party. Why did I have to do that? Due to the noise caused by the king and his nobles, the queen mother then entered the banquet room. She said, "Oh, king, live forever. Don't be alarmed. Don't be shaken. There is a man in your kingdom who has within him the spirit of the holy gods." Notice plural, okay? There is an understanding that there's something different. There is an understanding that there is divine power, but there's not yet a fully understood difference in God being separate and set apart, and God being the only true God, and the others just being spiritual beings, not actual gods. King Nebuchadnezzar, your father, appointed him chief of the magicians, astrologers, wise men, and diviners. Trinity? No. No, just the God that's being worshipped. So not a distinction of Trinity here. No. Thus, there was found in this man Daniel, who the king renamed Belshazzar, an extraordinary spirit, knowledge, and skill to interpret dreams, explain riddles, and solve difficult problems. Now summon Daniel, and he will disclose the interpretation. So, mom comes in and says, "Dude, this isn't a problem. Go get Daniel." So Daniel was brought in before the king. The king said to Daniel, "Are you the Daniel who is the one of the captives of Judah?"
Mrs.
Hey,
_Tamlin
Mrs.
Kristen just followed.
Tamlin, a.k.a. Kristen. Thank you for the follow, friend. Appreciate it. Thanks for coming in and hanging out. If you're not sure where we are in Daniel 5. You know, I was thinking about what I might need to do is put, you know what? Let me just do that real quick. Add a text box. Okay, need to shrink that sucker down. Oh, there it is. So there we go. There's where we're reading. Daniel 4 and following. So, hey, tip of the cap, Miss Tamlin. Tip of the cap to you. Welcome in. Glad you're here. So, I just put where we started. And I can try to update that whenever we get going in the scriptures. So you know where we are when you come in and you can't read it because my mug is covering up the chapter reference. So, welcome in. Glad you're here. So Daniel was brought in before the king. The king said to Daniel, "Are you the Daniel? Because there's lots of Daniels, and I've known lots of Daniels my whole life, and I want to make sure I've got the right one." I think it's more clarification, validation. Are you the Daniel who is one of the captives of Judah whom my father the king brought from Judah. I want to verify you're the one, the specific one that these guys didn't bring the wrong one to me. I have heard about you, how there is a spirit of the gods in you, and how you have insight, discernment, and extraordinary wisdom. Now the wise men and astrologers were brought before me to read this writing and make known to me its interpretation. But they were unable to disclose the interpretation of the message. However, I have heard that you are able to provide interpretations and to solve difficult problems. Now, if you are able to read this writing and make known to me its interpretation, you will wear purple and have a golden collar around your neck and be third ruler in the kingdom. Now, I know it says collar, but I wish it said necklace instead of collar. Like, my brain is just reading, you're going to be a dog on a leash because you've got a gold collar, and I'll be able to control you. I mean, I know that's not the image we're supposed to have, but saying a collar makes my brain think that. Okay. But Daniel replied to the king, keep your gifts and keep your rewards for someone else. I don't need that. However, I will read the writing for the king and make it known its interpretation. As for you, O king, the Most High God bestowed on your father Nebuchadnezzar a kingdom, greatness, honor, and majesty. Due to the greatness that he bestowed on him, all peoples, nations, and language groups were trembling with fear before him. He killed whom he wished, he spared whom he wished, he exalted whom he wished, and he brought low whom he wished. And when his mind became arrogant and his spirit filled with pride, he was deposed from the royal throne, and his honor was removed from him. Collars were more ornamental and less pen-oriented back then. I know, Hobo. I know that. But it's just like the association of it being today would lead me from not calling it a collar and calling it a necklace. But I know. But oh, hey, thank you for the spot of tea. I have English breakfast today, friend. English breakfast. Oh, so good. So thank you. Appreciate that. We use them in Masonic lodges for officers and such. Oh, okay. It's more to look fancy. Yeah, I understand that. That's interesting. I hadn't thought about where they're still used today. Yeah, Masonic lodges. My son-in-law is in the Masons, and I've had other friends over the years who were. I, however, was never invited. Can you believe such a thing? I shall take a cup of thine brew forthwith. I like that. That was nice. You can't recruit someone. They have to seek it out. Really, because I've been told the other way around, that the only way that you do it is by invite. So I never sought it out because people told me you had to be invited. You have to request an invite. See, that's weird because I've been told the opposite, that you can't. You have to have someone, but whatever, it doesn't matter. Actually, there is the Masonic Lodge is less than a mile from my house here. But I don't know anyone in town here that's in the Masons, so I wouldn't know who to request it from here. Interestingly enough. Okay. So telling the story of his dad, the honor was removed. He was driven from human society. His mind was changed to that of an animal. He lived with the wild donkeys. Okay, we had just wild animals before, but as Daniel tells it, it was the wild donkeys. He was fed grass like oxen, and his body became damp with the dew of the sky until he came to understand that the Most High God rules over human kingdoms, and he appoints over them whomever he wishes. Well, right now, I can't see myself in the next year having the time to explore that and do that. I've got too many new things on my plate to do that. But knowing that I could inquire and request is just information enough. I didn't know that. Like I said, I thought it had to be the other way around, where you had to be recruited, not you could show interest. So I appreciate that, though, and the sharing. That's good info. But you, his son Belshazzar, have not humbled yourself, although you knew all this. So you knew all that happened to your dad. Let me remind you what happened to your dad. Instead, you've exalted yourself against the Lord of heaven. You brought before you the vessels from his temple, and you and your nobles, together with your wives and your concubines, drank wine from them. You praised the gods of silver, gold, bronze, iron, wood, and stone gods that cannot see or hear or comprehend. But you have not glorified the God who is in control, your very breath and all your ways. Therefore, the palm of a hand was sent from him, and this writing was inscribed. Oh, Masonic and Elks Lodge, those are different. Yes, there's Moose Lodge, Elks Lodge, Eagles Lodge. My stepdad was, I believe, in the Elks and the Eagles. So it is likely they share a building with the Masonic Blue Lodge. Oh, okay. The Elks around by us never shared a building that I know of with Masonic Lodge, but maybe some of the Elks had Masonic lodges that I didn't know of. I don't think we have an Elks by me. We have Eagles and Masonic. That's the only ones I know of. Yeah, they have a lot of shared buildings. That's cool. This is the writing that was inscribed. Mene, Mene, Tekel, and Parson. Okay. Come on. Footnote. Greek version of Theodotion lacks the repetition mene. So some just say mene, not mene, mene. The Aramaic word is plural. Theodotion has it as singular, peres, instead of parsin. Okay. We'll get the translation. This is the interpretation of the words. As for mene, God has numbered your kingdom's days and brought it to an end. As for tekel, you are weighed on the balances and been found lacking. I just love that phrase. You have been, well, often it's found wanting. You've been weighed in the balance and found wanting, like lacking. You didn't measure up. As for the Peres, your kingdom is divided and given over to the Medes and Persians. Like, you done messed up, Aaron, and it's over. Then on Belshazzar's orders, Daniel was clothed in purple, and a golden collar was placed around his neck, and he was proclaimed third ruler in the kingdom. So Daniel says, I don't want none of your stuff. He tells him the dream, says your kingdom is over, and Belshazzar's like, well, I'll do this anyway. Why? Thinking that maybe he can purchase his way out of this, maybe. That's what I'm thinking. He does it anyway, thinking maybe he can purchase his way out of the plight that's coming. Daniel doesn't seem to refuse. I mean, it is the king. He doesn't refuse. He said he didn't need it. He didn't want it. The king does it anyway. But the king doesn't repent. He doesn't try to change. And that very night, Belshazzar, the Babylonian king, was killed. So Darius the Mede took control of the kingdom when he was about 62 years old. He who dies with the most toys still dies. Best shirt I ever had as a kid. That's a fun shirt. It seemed like a good idea to Darius to appoint over the kingdom 120 satraps. So we've got a new system in. We've got a new king in. We have like only like look at like King Nebuchadnezzar has like 3 different occurrences. His son has like 1 occurrence. Like if you think about these stories, these are really prominently known stories in Daniel. Okay, we're still in the prominent section of people know. Like we know the story of Daniel and the refusing of food. We know the dream that the king has, and Daniel can interpret it. We know Shadrach, Meshach, and Abednego in a fiery furnace. We know the handwriting on the wall, and we know Daniel in the lion's den. Like, we know these stories well. They're children's stories, some of them. And I think some ways, because they're children's stories, we overlook them in some regards. Sorry, I just seeing I have a message and I thought I would look at it. Okay, doesn't look like I have to deal with it right now. Okay. Oh, passing out cookies. So we've got a new king. We've got, boom, it's going to happen. Boom, it has happened. It seemed a good idea to Darius to appoint over the kingdom 120 satraps who would be in charge of the entire kingdom. Over them would be through 3 supervisors, one of whom was Daniel. These satraps were accountable to them so that the king's interests would not incur damage. Now this Daniel was distinguishing himself above the other supervisors and satraps, for he had an extraordinary spirit. In fact, the king intended to appoint him over the entire kingdom. Consequently, the supervisors and the satraps were trying to find some pretext against Daniel in connection with administrative matters, but they were unable to find such damaging evidence because he was trustworthy. Sorry, I lost my place. And guilty of no negligence or corruption. So these men concluded, we won't find any pretext against this man, Daniel, unless it is connected with the laws of his God. So these supervisors and satraps came by collusion to the king and said to him, O King Darius, live forever. To all the supervisors of the kingdom, the prefects, satraps, counselors, and governors, it seemed like a good idea for a royal edict to be issued and an interdict to be enforced. For the next 30 days, anyone who prays to any god or human other than you, O king, should be thrown into a den of lions. Now let the king issue a written interdict so that it cannot be altered according to the law of the Medes and the Persians, which cannot be changed. So King Darius issued the written edict. Vibe with Sans. Hello, can you please keep my boyfriend Peter in prayers? He's about to have a heart angiograph. Absolutely. Let's just do that right now. Let's do that right now. Sorry, I'm looking for my Stream Deck, which I haven't got set up on my new setup here. So, anyone else has prayer requests? I do have a redeem for it. You don't need to redeem. The redeem is simply there to let you know when you come in the stream that prayer at any time can be requested, and we will stop and pray. So, God, we are just lifting up Peter in prayers. Has a heart angiography that needs to be done. We are praying for all that might be going on to be seen and known and understood, for healing. We pray for comfort and peace at this time. We pray for all anxiety to be lifted. We pray for you to be very present. Make your face known. Shine upon him. Shine on Vibe with Sands. And be present in the testing and all that's going on. Anything that needs to happen afterwards, may your guiding hands be with the physicians, the nurses, caring. And may your shalom, your rest, your peace be upon this situation and this circumstance. We give it over to you, asking you to bless Peter and all who know and love him. We just pray this in Jesus' name. Amen. Thank you, Vibe with Sands, for asking for prayer. Appreciate that. And we'll be praying. You are welcome. You are welcome. And welcome in. How did you find oops, wrong screen. How did you find me?
Sans just followed.
Love to have new people. Always interested in how they find me. If it's a Christian streamer tag or topic or somebody else's. Samarella, good to see you, friend. Passing. The Russian tea cakes. Woohoo! The Christian hashtag. All right. Well, welcome in. I'm usually here Monday, Tuesday, Thursday, Friday, reading the Bible. So I'm working on new setup on OBS, so not everything's fully there. Those who have been here a while, hey, look, I added we're reading Daniel and following. Maybe I need to add reading to it. Yeah, I should do that. Let's oops, I spelled reading wrong. Ha ha, that's pretty funny. Reading. There we go. Lady Palace, hey, welcome in. Good to see you. And Samuel, I forgot to say something to you and Ukulele in her stream, and I hope you can say it here. Absolutely, you can say it here. Donnie Dreams, just chilling. Welcome in. So we are up to Daniel 6 now. I know I put 4 and ... We'll get to wherever we get to. So, okay. So, again, we have a situation where jealousy of someone else becomes the motivation for tearing someone else down. So, they're trying to tear down Daniel now. The previous incident with Shadrach, Meshach, and Abednego was, again, jealousy over. So, let's see what happens. When Daniel realized that a written decree had been issued, he entered his home. There were where the windows to his upper room opened toward Jerusalem. 3 times daily he was kneeling and offering prayers and thanks to his God, just as he had been accustomed to doing previously. Then the officials who had gone to the king came by collusion and found Daniel praying and asked for help before his God. So they approached the king and said to him, "Did you not issue an edict to the effect that for the next 30 days anyone who prays to any god or a human other than to you, O king, would be thrown in the lion's den?" The king replied, "That is correct, according to the laws of the Medes and Persians, which cannot be changed." Then they said to the king, "Daniel, who is one of the captives from Judah, pays no attention to you, O king, or to the edict that you issued. 3 times daily he offers his prayer." Okay, I'll get to your comment in just a second, Sam. So how do people know he's praying? Okay, this is one of those things that we really need to see that for the most part, there is not a concept of silent prayer. Okay, the spoken word is what is important. So not praying internally, not praying silently. That is a more modern concept. No, if you did not pray it, if the thought did not happen, it was not a real thing. So it had to cross your lips to have power. You had to speak it so that it could go up before the God who you were praying to. So Daniel, when he is opening his window and praying, is not praying silently. Now, whether or not they can fully hear what he's saying from where they are down the street, I'm not saying they could do that. But even if I do this and I just whisper and I'm still talking out loud, you can know that I'm praying. Hope you heard all of that. I was just kind of whispering silently, and you would still see my lips moving, and you could still hear the breath. Even if you couldn't make out, you would know I was praying, so they can accuse him in that same way. I think that's the same thing with Hannah. When Hannah was praying, she was probably whispering it very quietly, just barely having the breath utter through her. So when we get to the New Testament and praying in your inner room so no one hears is because people prayed out loud. So it's don't pray for public adoration. Okay, let me get caught up on chat. Bum-ba-da-bum-bum-bum. Okay. You just wanted to thank you both so much, and also to Mother Goose for helping you through a dark time and happy times. And Ben, there to for me, showing support, love, and care, made me feel like I have another family. Oh, that's so sweet, Samarella, and that's our hope. I'm not surprised Mother Goose was helping as well. Most importantly, thank you so much for helping me find my faith again. Oh, that's awesome, and help myself start to going to church. Honestly, honest to God, I feel so honored and gifted to have found you guys here, Samarella. I would dare say that all three of us would say that is part of why we are here doing this, is to be a light for anyone who is in a dark place and a dark time, and helping you to find the light, whether it's for the first time or returning to the light. Samarella, that is so good. That's so. You know what I'm actually going to do, Samarella? I'm going to snip that. I want to keep that. I'm going to take a screenshot of that so that I have that to keep. Okay, save. Come on. I'm clicking save. Why aren't you? There we go. We're going to call that praise report. That's what I'm going to call that. Okay. Ooh, stroopwafel cookies. You got the stroopwafel? Those are so good, Lady Palace, if you've never had them. Yeah, exactly, Artsy. Welcome back to the family of God. Okay, so Daniel is offering his prayer 3 times, and he gets ratted out. Oh, no. When the king heard this, he was very upset and began to think about how he might rescue Daniel. Until late afternoon, he was struggling to find a way to rescue him. Then those men came by collusion to the king and said to him, "Recall, O king, that this is a law of the Medes in Persia, and that no edict or decree that the king issued can be changed." So the king gave the order, and Daniel was brought and thrown into a den of lions. The king consoled Daniel by saying, "Your God, whom you continually serve, will rescue you." So he's stating that. He's probably heard the stories of Shadrach, Meshach, and Abednego. He's probably heard those stories. And so he believes that his God has the power, even if he doesn't quite know the God yet. Yes, praise God, Samarella. Glad to hear you are feeling better. Absolutely. Then a stone was brought and placed over the opening to the den. The king sealed it with the signet ring and with those of his nobles, so that nothing could be changed with regard to Daniel. Then the king departed to his palace, but he spent the night without eating, and no diversions were brought to him. He was unable to sleep. He is in grief, mourning, whatever you want to call it. He when you have emotional stuff going on, you don't want to eat, you don't want to entertain, you don't want anything. He's in a funk, whatever way we want to identify that. King was stressed, absolutely. What's interesting here, a stone was rolled in front and the stone was sealed. Oh my goodness, there's another story where the stone was rolled in place and the stone was sealed, and what you're expecting to happen does not happen. You're going into the tomb of the lion's den. You should be dead. Resurrection should not happen. You shouldn't come out alive. Jesus goes into the tomb. Death has happened. Nothing should come out of the tomb. There we go. But I don't know if there's others where the tombs were sealed. Like Lazarus, I don't think it was sealed. The stone rolled, but not sealed. Continuing. In the morning, at the earliest sign of daylight, the king got up and rushed to the lion's den. As he approached the den, he called out to Daniel in a worried voice, "Daniel, servant of the living God, was your God whom you continually serve able to rescue you from the lion's den?" Sorry, it's that's a lot to say. That's my point. That's a lot to say. Hey Daniel, you there, buddy? That would have been did your God? The point of how and who is why that statement is that way. But it just seems like a lot to yell if you're just Daniel, are you okay? That would have been enough, Then Daniel spoke to the king. "Oh, king, live forever. My God sent his angel and closed the lion's mouth so that they have not harmed me, because I was found to be innocent before him. Nor have I done any harm to you, O king." So just like Shadrach, Meshach, and Abednego, there was a fourth person with them. Here there's a second person in the tomb, the lion's den, if you will. Then the king was delighted and gave an order to haul Daniel up from the den. So Daniel was hurled up out of the den. Hauled, sorry, not hurled. I was thinking of Jonah there. Hauled up out of the den. He had no injury of any kind because he had trusted in his God. The king gave another order, and those men who had maliciously accused Daniel were brought and thrown into the lion's den. They were children, their children, and their wives. They did not even reach the bottom of the den before the lions overpowered them and crushed all their bones. Okay, this seems quite a bit harsh to have their children and their wives thrown in, but this is not an uncommon thing when someone does something wrong that, Danny, are you okay? Are you okay, Danny? Nice. Nice. You don't want someone coming with vengeance later on. So you do away with the children who would seek vengeance later so that they can't seek vengeance, and their wives who would then tell to another child down the road, if need be, you need to avenge. That is just done away with for that sake. So we don't like the idea of corporate collective things happening to all people, but at times in different places in history, you did that. The king doesn't want these guys coming back against him, so that's what happens. Then King Darius wrote to all the people, nations, and language groups who were living in the land, "Peace and prosperity. I have issued an edict, and throughout all the dominion of my kingdom, people are to revere and fear the God of Daniel.
For he is the living God. He endures forever. His kingdom will not be destroyed. His authority is forever. Okay, so notice what we have so far. We have Nebuchadnezzar, who doesn't quite follow God, but later at the end makes a decree that God is God. We have his son, who done messes up Aaron, and he's snuffed out. Then we have Darius, who also now is proclaiming the true God to the people. I'm going to sing that all day. Yes. Danny, are you okay? Are you okay, Danny? Can't have a bunch of Inigo Montoyas running around in your kingdom. Exactly, Bob. We don't need Inigo Montoya. Prepare to die. You killed my father. Prepare to die. Yes. We need that not. Guys, please keep me in prayers. You're being bullied at work and you're feeling anxious, nauseous, etc. I'm so sorry that is causing the stress on you.
DJ97 underscore just followed.
Thank you for the follow. God, we're just lifting up Lady Palace, who has seemingly has such difficulty in work environments with people that did not see her value, who put her down, who are bullying, and in this new job, she's barely been there, not even a month, and already, and the stress it causes her, the anxiety, the nausea, the hurt, the pain, the suffering, the struggle. God, we just pray for that to be removed. We pray for that person. We're not praying ill will against that person. We're praying for a change of heart, a change of mind, that they may know and grow and feel the love that Lady Palace has, and know that her value, see her for who she is, how you've created her, and to whatever this spirit is that causes them to think they need to bully other people so that it builds themselves up, that it really doesn't. It's just a way of actually tearing themselves up inside, tearing themselves down. God, may you just deal with them. May you bring them to a true understanding, and may you continue. We keep praying this for someone to be a friend, an advocate for Lady Palace, to come alongside of, to stand up alongside of her, to be a protector, to be your hands and feet, to be love in that workplace. God, we pray for her value to be seen, for her skills to excel, for her value to be known, for her to feel and know that too. God, we just pray for her at this time and in this difficult situation. Remove the anxiety, replace it with your peace, remove the nausea, and replace it with just your joy. God, we just ask this and pray this in Jesus' name. Amen. Yeah, we're just reading about passages of people being delivered from miraculous things, and so this is no small thing, but God can deliver you as well. The manager saw, fellow colleagues saw, but they kept quiet. Yeah, sometimes people are afraid to speak up, to be bullied themselves as well. Bob, not sure where you live, but if it is in the U.S., it does not get better. You should reach out to your employment lawyers for the laws that protect you from those scenarios. She's overseas. She's not U.S., so I'm not going to dox her. If she wants to share, that's fine. But yeah, she's not in the U.S. Okay. So here we have the praise of God. For he is the living God. He endures forever. His kingdom will not be destroyed. His authority is forever. He rescues and delivers and performs signs and wonders in the heaven and on earth. He has rescued Daniel from the power of the lions. So this Daniel prospered during the reign of Darius and the reign of Cyrus of Persia. So now we're going to go to another king. Oh, no. We're going back to an old king. Yeah, there might be laws there as well. Okay, so we're not gonna raid out to my other channel today. I can't find where this is coming from. This is so weird. But if you would be so kind, anyone, I'm gonna start my other channel, and if you want to go give me a follow, I'm trying to get to, a lurk, not a follow. If you can go give me a lurk. If you can give me a lurk on my other channel here, we're going to stop that for a day. We're going to do some other Christmas type stuff. So we've gone through 6. Let me mark that off. Bum, 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 bum. Hey, there we go. Look at that. With the exception of starting 1 John, we are now on to December, friends. We are now on to December. We are making progress. Okay. I'm going to hide that. No, I can leave that. That's fine. I'll leave that. And the mic is off. Okay. All right, so I'm putting my other channel live. If you can go drop me a lurk over there, I'd appreciate that. I'm trying to get to affiliate. I've been doing, co-working streams and raiding over there. I'm not going to raid over there today. I can't fully do co-working, but if you can I'll leave that stream up for about a half an hour. If I can get a few lurks, that would be awesome. If anyone can go lurk on my other channel, I'm gonna dun dun dun. I think this is it that we're going to switch over to. Let me get caught up on anything in chat. Unfortunately, everything is gray here. Law can't help. Oh, sorry to hear that. Hiya, brother. Just popping in for a quick to pass on a hello from Kristen, since her account doesn't have a verified email account attached. Oh, well, thank you. I've debated taking that off because bots aren't going to have verified accounts. That's the reason I put it on there, is to try to diminish that. But there are a few people that don't have verified accounts for other reasons, and they're not able to do that. So welcome in. Good to have you here. Okay, so I'm making a Christmas tier list here. Okay. So, do I have another one that would work better than this? No, I think this is still the one I want. Close that. Okay, so here are the options. You know what I'm going to do? I'm going to make that bigger. I thought this was hidden behind there. Okay. I'm just going to drag it that way. We're off that. It's all good. Okay, so in regards to the song, the question, so how I rate the song, this is a song for every day in December song. Like, I want to listen to it every day. I will never get tired of this song. This is a fantastic, wonderful Christmas song. Why isn't it played every day? Then the next category is it's not Christmas without hearing this song once. Then there is that's a good song. Then there's meh. Yeah, I could take it or leave it. Then there's a category, don't get me started. I don't want to ruin the song for you. I will probably ruin the song for you if I talk about it. And then there's the I can't hear that. Like, it is worse than that. I will not, I can't unhear that. That song drives me nuts. And then ho ho horrible, I'm out of here. So Grandma got run over by a reindeer every day, never gets old. And you are entitled to your opinion. So I can't quite read all of these. The font is so small on these. I wish they were better. I wish there was some way to see them more clearly. This is the 12 days of Christmas. You can live without Father. I'm just going to take them in order that they're here, okay? So we won't get through all of these today. We're just going to take a little bit of time, get this started, and every day through Christmas we will add more. So you can give your scale here. You can just go A, B, C, D, E, F. You know what? I probably don't need G. You know what? Let me just take this category. That's too many categories. Let's delete that row. And we'll just go with that. A, B, C, or S, A, B, C, D, E. That's what we'll do. So you can give it S if you think it's an S tier, A, B, C, D, E if you want to rank it. I may go with your opinion. I may not. So that's how we're doing this. You know what? I'm not going to move all that around. So the first one is 12 Days of Christmas. Where are the 12 Days of Christmas in your opinion? I'm going meh. I'm going meh. You're S tier with the 12 Days of Christmas. Ooh, Hobo Bob is saying A tier. Okay. I'm meh on it. I mean, I don't think it's a good song. If it happens, great. One of the things that I don't like about it is everyone thinks the 5 gold rings is a ring. I don't think it's a ring. We had a whole bunch of birds, okay? We have a partridge. We have turtle doves. We have French hens, okay? We've got geese a-laying. It's another bird that's a gold neck of some kind. It's a gold ring. It's probably a pheasant. It's probably what it is. And the fact that everybody goes on and on about, oh, I got a ring. Yeah, I want rings. No. It's a bird. It's a bird. Clearly a bird. And then we all of a sudden switch off of birds to people. That just is weird to me. So I could take it or leave it. What I do like is all of the other versions that people have of the 12 Days of Christmas. Those are the ones I like. Google the original lyrics. Yeah, if you go look at it, it talks about the fact that it might be based on a bird, but the origins I've got, well, you know what? I probably have it right here. Let me see if it's in my list. No, this is Best Loved Christmas Carols. It may not be in here. Nope, the 12 Days of Christmas is in here. So I could read to you what it says, because I've looked at this. I should preface, this is the fact that you're totally obsessed with Christmas. Okay. Put it on the first Christmas tree a week before Halloween. Oh, no way. Sorry. Thanksgiving is the best holiday of the year. I am not skipping Thanksgiving to get to Christmas. It's a bird lady that got a ring and became sane. Okay. I'll give you this one for free since we're talking about it, but you can do a redeem for the story behind a Christmas song. So, the traditional 12 days of Christmas extend from Christmas Day to Epiphany Day, or from December 25 to January 6, the 12th night. On the new year, the 12 days of Christmas was meant to be sung during this period, not before Christmas Day. But in the United States, it's generally not sung after Christmas Day, which is totally opposed to the whole reason the song was written. In fact, hardly any Christmas music, religious or secular, is heard in the United States after December 25, since a number of carols were intended to be celebrating post-Christmas feast days, including Epiphany, January 6th, the date for honoring the visitation of the Magi, the wise men. It would be a nice practice to revive singing carols during this period. Can you sense any harshness in the person writing this? Possibly written around 1700 and quite likely based on a similar French song, The 12 Days of Christmas, first appeared in 1780 publication Mirth Without Mischief in England. The song was intended as a children's memory game. The first child recited the first verse, the second child the next verse, and so on until one player missed the verse, for which a penalty had to be paid. Recreating the festival air of secular carols from the early Renaissance era, it has been adapted to a number of lyrical settings. A recent account, perhaps more myth than fact, relates that because there were precautions of Catholics in England around the time, the 12 Days of Christmas were created as a catechism song for young Catholics to help them remember the lessons of their faith. Yes, I totally think that's a myth. Thus, true love referred to God. The partridge in a pear tree was Jesus, symbolizing a mother partridge feigning injury to protect her helpless young from predators. To me, who receives the presents, signifies every baptized person. The symbols of the 12th day of Christmas thus represent the following. I don't believe this. Partridge in a pear tree is Jesus. 2 turtle doves, Old and New Testaments. French hens, faith, hope, and charity. Collie birds, 4 gospels. Gold rings, the 5 books of the Old Testament. First 5 books, the Torah. Geese a-laying, 6 days of creation. Swans a-swimming, the 7 gifts of the Holy Spirit. Maids a-milking, the 8 beatitudes. Ladies dancing, 9 fruits of the Holy Spirit. Lords a-leaping, the 10 commandments. Pipers piping, 11 faithful disciples. Drummers drumming, the 12 beliefs of the Apostles' Creed. Today, the song retains a good nature and popularity in many parts of the English-speaking world. Okay, that's the story. I've got 2 books with stories, so you can redeem a Christmas Carol if you want. Okay, let me get caught up on anything happening. And Pastor North, welcome in. I don't skip Thanksgiving, but there's more Christmas stuff up than Thanksgiving, yeah. I have 3 trees, yeah. That's a lot. I listen to my Christmas playlist year-round. My wife will not let me play it in the house till after Halloween. My wife would have the tree up before Thanksgiving, and I do not permit it. Depends on the fruits I'm allergic to, if you remember. Well, it's virtual fruit. You pick. Cookies are too fun. But I'll get more fruits. Okay, it's interesting and deep. I'll keep chill. I don't know. You don't have to agree with me. You don't have to agree with me. You all voted where yours are. I put it on map. Okay. Next song. Okay, I'm going to snooze the ad here. Okay, next song. Looking at the time. Okay. Oh, and I'm watching and Hobo Bob. Thanks for coming over and giving me views. If anyone else, I'm hoping to get my other channel up to affiliate. I need to get enough viewer count. That's all I'm needing to do. So I got a few more times to stream where I need at least 3 people in the stream hanging out. So if you can go throw me a lurk, I'd appreciate that. I'm going to stream over there for about an hour and then shut that down. So it's just going to be a lurk. You can see me wave at you over there and you can see my fish, but not going to be an active one today. So Baby It's Cold Outside is the next song. So your opinions on that. Samarella, I only want to be one day of Christmas because 12 Christmas thing is a little scary and a bit triggering for me because of a few things. Oh, yeah. You know what? I've never actually done anything that would have been the 12 days of Christmas or anything like that. That's interesting. Not saying I'm triggered, but thinking about 12 days things reminds you of things. Yeah, I understood. Scary, yep, can be a scary thing, yeah. All right, so get your opinions of Baby It's Cold Outside in here, notwithstanding the modern interpretation and thoughts of this being felonious activities on anyone's part, okay?
Fake Hobo Bob just followed.
Hey, fake Hobo Bob. Oh, that's funny. Fake Hobo Bob, thanks for the follow. The controversy around the song has me wanting to rate it lower. Yes, but I think that the rating of it lower, or so the controversy around it is fictitious. Okay, because what we hear is the inner dialogue in the song and the outer dialogue that's actually sung. And so that is part of the reason. So that's where it's like, to me, it's not Christmas without hearing it once. Okay, I want to hear it once. I like the song. I find it enjoyable. Of the juxtaposition of two people who have different views about the same thing. I don't believe that there's anything nefarious going on, that he spiked the drink with anything to take advantage of her. Yep, it might be a spiked drink. Oh, I thought it was eggnog that was non-alcoholic. I didn't realize there's something in it. That's all the thing I think is going on there. Wonder how they came up with the name. Baby, It's Cold Outside. Well, it's what they sing in there, you know. Who let that guy in here? Oh, you mean that name, Fake Hobo Bob. Wonder how they came up with the name. Yep. Okay. Any thoughts on Baby It's Cold Outside? You're free to disagree with me. Yeah, that's awesome. That's awesome, friends. Appreciate that. Okay. Some of these are so hard to tell. I can't. Boy, I cannot read the font on these. They're so small. Wow. Can anyone figure out this one? Can you figure out what that is? I mean, I can't read it. It's too small. Search with Google Lens. Oh, there we go. Okay, Soul Christmas. Okay, so it's on that album. Don't worry about him. He's not real. Thought it was an alternate account. No, the name of Fake Hobo. Yes. Donnie, I mean, actually celebrating Christmas from December 25th to January 6th would mean that we get more days than Hanukkah. Yes, it would be. Okay, so I'm not sure what song is on here that we're supposed to pick, and I was trying to get to. There we go. Okay, so it looks like it's a 3 title. So it's not White Christmas. It's 3 words, so the Christmas song might be what it is. Let's look at it again. Can I see that? Nope. Nope. I need to switch off of that. Okay. It's Backdoor Santa. Okay. Backdoor Santa is what the song is. I have no idea what the song is. I've never heard it. Ad start in 30 seconds. So don't know this song at all. So it's just going to go in the well, since I don't know, I guess, can I just get rid of it? I don't know. This is someone else's thing that they put. You're going to go get something to eat. Your stomach feels so empty. Okay. Yeah, it's an alternate account, not verified, so it's not real. Okay. So I can't read that. Like, this is the problem with these. Like, I can't read. Okay, so we'll go with Blue Christmas. Oh, some of you are on ad break. Okay, I'll wait for you to get back. Let's quick go to Fishies. Just turn on Christmas music and play in for 4 hours for a week. You can add music audio off to ears for the koi stream. Oh, that's an interesting thought. Christmas with the Koi. Let me find that over on the other channel a minute since you're over there. I'm not saving any of the VODs anyway on there. Oh, I'm in the wrong place. Okay. All right, so I'm back over here. We should be back from the ad. I got Christmas songs added. Now I'm just going to change my title. If it'll let me. Bump, ba-dum, ba-dum, ba-dum. Come on. Computer's bogging down. Too much stuff going on. Okay. Christmas and Koi. That's what we're calling it. Done. Okay. I don't know. Can you hear that music playing in the background? It's pretty subtle. Pretty subtle. Okay. And say, no, Mike, just Christmas, Koi, and vibes. Okay. Just turn. Yeah, I did. I got a Christmas music going on. So it's great. All right. You got it? Cool. Okay. So we'll do 2 more songs and then we'll end the stream for today. So like I said, this is the project that's going to be ongoing. I'm sorry, I meant to do this when I took the ad break earlier today. The plan is to do this for every ad break. So we're going to do Blue Christmas. So let's get your votes in. S tier, A, B, C, D, E. Where is this at? Get your votes in. I'm gonna move Blue Christmas. Bum 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 bum. I'm not gonna. You were hoping for a song battle, but I can do it myself. Well, I couldn't find my stuff, and I decided I wanted to go a different direction this year. Meh. Yeah, that's kind of what I thought too. Meh. I understand the song and the sentiment of being blue, but frankly, it's like overplayed is kind of what it is. It's overplayed. So I'm gonna have to again like do a search on these. I can't like whoever developed this, like it's so tiny. The reading in there, or the writing is there. Okay, this looks like the Chipmunk song here. The Christmas song. It says the Christmas song, but okay, I'm gonna just See if I can't do. Where was it at? I had that earlier. Oh, that's what it was. I could do the search with Google Lens. Okay. We're going to search with Google Lens. Yeah, that's what I thought. Alvin and the Chipmunks. So it's the Chipmunk song. That's what we're going to call it. We're going to call it the Chipmunk song. So where do you vote on the Chipmunk song? Yeah, all those songs over 50 would be on the overplayed group. Well, maybe. I'm going to go with good tier. I mean, it's the Chipmunk song. I don't need to hear it every year, but it's kind of fun. It's a kid's song, so I'm not gonna take it down because it is what it is. It is what it is. Okay. Ooh. Okay. Dominic the Donkey. Dominic the Donkey. Okay. Where is Dominic the Donkey going on yours? Oh, sorry, that's not where I want it. My mouse is doing stupid stuff. Okay. I can't quite put it into an everyday in December, but it is. It's not Christmas without hearing Dominic the Donkey. Because I want to know where you put it at, and you can persuade me. You can argue on some of these that I can move it up. So, you went B tier. Okay. I just went A tier, so we're not that far off. So, some I won't be persuaded. Some I don't have a hard opinion about. Dominic is S tier for you? Yeah. It's so close for me. It's so close. I don't quite put it in S tier because I don't think I would listen to it every day. I think I would get tired of it. You don't get a tier list then. Right there with Mary, did you know? Oh, no. We got a different opinion on that. Let's go with Feliz Navidad. Feliz Navidad. Okay, where are we putting Feliz Navidad? You're not familiar with Dominic the Donkey? Okay. I'm going to go Feliz Navidad. It's not Christmas without it. You're saying S tier on Feliz Navidad? I can move Feliz Navidad. If everyone thinks it's S tier, I'm okay with that. I'll tell you the one reason why I didn't put it S tier is because the entire songs he continually says, "I want to wish you a Merry Christmas," but he never actually does it. He only sings about his desire to do it, and he never actually does it. He just says, "I want to wish you a Merry Christmas." But I guess you could say when he says Feliz Navidad, he does say it in Spanish, so technically, yes, it's semantics. But I lived in a state where people never actually said things like, I want to introduce to you the person who's coming up on stage next. Then do it. I want to thank, then do it. Don't just want to do it, actually do it. Like, words mean something. You're wanting to do it means that you should then go do it. So it'd be like saying, I want to introduce to you, so let me introduce to you. I'm introducing to you. Like, So that phrase bothers me. But I don't hold it against the song entirely. Okay, what was that? Oh. Let's go find Dominic the Donkey. All right, are you ready for this? I want to wish you Merry Christmas, but I can only say Feliz Navidad. I know what they mean. It doesn't matter what they mean. I get an ad.
I'm losing weight and
Are you kidding me?
Why is everyone spiraling over YouTube banning ad blockers? Like, chill guys, just use Pi. It's a free Chrome extension that's actually made by one of the founders of Honey. And
off of that, it'll block me for a minute of my VOD anyway. So you're mad with that? Oh. We are in disagreement on that. That is such a fun song. I mean, I think it's fun. All right. Well, that's enough for right now. And we got a good spread here, but we don't have any in the Ho Ho Horrible. Should I just pick one that I know? I'm going to put in the Ho Ho Horrible category. Let me find one that I'm going to put in the Ho Ho Horrible, and I'll just put it in there. Some of these, it's so hard to read these. They're too tiny. Oh. Okay. I'm putting the hippopotamus in the Ho Ho Horrible. I don't like that song. I do not like that song. Don't you even have Randall the Redneck Reindeer? I did not make this chart. Someone else did, but they put all this work together with all these things. The problem is I can't read them, but it saved me from doing all the work. All I Want for Christmas, it may be in there. We'll have to look. To me, meh means I can live with it or without it. I can live without it. I'm not saying it's bad. Just, it's not on my radar. Yeah, exactly. That's meh. I don't care. Like, if some people like it, it doesn't bother me. I'm not excited about it. Yeah, that's what, yeah, I think we have the same understanding of meh. Yes, the Mariah Carey one, yeah, that's definitely going in there. Mel, but you like the donkey song? Yes. Yeah, the practicality of, so do you actually know the story of behind I Want a Hippopotamus for Christmas? There was a zoo that wanted to fundraise to get a hippopotamus in the zoo, and so the song was written as a fundraiser to get a hippopotamus. They sold enough records and albums, they got a hippopotamus at the zoo. That's the whole premise for the song, and it disappeared. Like this was, I can't remember if it was the 40s or 50s, and they got the hippopotamus, the song went away. Then suddenly in the 70s, they brought it back. The whole practicality of, okay, she could pronounce hippopotamus all the way through the song until she gets to the end, and then she, or rhinoceros, and then she suddenly can't. Like, she could pronounce words, and then later she can't pronounce them. That bugs me. Okay, like, either you can or you can't, you know? So, you like the hippo, but not all day, so B tier. Let me actually, you know what? Let me put it in the don't get me started, because I'm more complaining about it than I don't like it. It's like, you should, like, if you want me to tear apart songs, just put the pop songs on the radio. I mean, I will tear them apart with the logic that they have. It bugs me to no end. It just drives me nuts. I can't even listen to them. I have to turn the channel off. Listen to those songs. Oh, I know where it is. Let me find it if I can find the song. I know which one is 100% not. Yep, there it is. Boom. Horrible. Horrible. Last Christmas. Wham. Last Christmas, I gave you my heart. The very next day, you gave it away. How can you give somebody else's heart away? Like, that just, the logic is just flawed completely. I gave it to you. It's not a tangible physical thing that I can then give to someone else. Like, and then if you gave it to someone else, my heart given to someone else, then that means I'm now in love with the other person. Like, oh, no, that love's not for me. You have that love. Oh, well, I love you now. Like, you can't even follow your logic through it. And now you gave it away. You gave it to someone else. And now this year I'm giving it to someone else. How did you get it back? Where did you get the love? How you gave the heart away? Now you've got the heart back, but the heart was given to someone else. This is regifting at its finest, ladies and gentlemen.
Chain Whipping just followed.
Oh, hey, Chain Whipping, you're coming in and I'm ranting. Oh, hey, thanks for the follow. Yeah, see, this is what I said. Yeah, don't get me started. This one goes beyond don't get me started. You are in trouble because You got me started. That's where we're at. We'll get to that. I was just trying to spread them all out over all the categories here. So we have everyday song. Need to listen to it every day, all the way through Christmas. And it's not Christmas without listening to it. It's a good song. Meh, I just don't care. Don't get me started. And ho ho horrible. My husband requested Last Christmas at a party Sunday, and the DJ said no. He knew she would. Oh, that's so mean. That's so mean. Yes. Okay. So there we go. That was getting us started on our Christmas setup there. That's going to be it for today. Anyone that's over following my other channel, I appreciate you watching me over on my other channel, helping me get to the fish up. So right now, it's just the fish and Christmas music. That's what we're doing. We'll do that for maybe another half hour or more, and we'll be ending the stream here. Chain whipping. I'll accept Jimmy Eats World version of Last Christmas only because it's Jimmy Eats World. And I'm not familiar with that one. But it might be worth listening to. Okay, I didn't pick the songs that were on here. Like I said, I didn't have time to go create and do all of that work myself. And I could not find my charts that I had done previously for bracketing. And I thought I'm going to do something different this year than bracketing. We're going to do the tiering of Christmas songs. So we will have fun. We'll have some fun with this. And part of the fun is the disagreement. And you know what? I could do, if we wanted to really totally do this, I could put every song in, and we could vote on it, do a poll, and then move them. We could do that. It's funny how sometimes the original is worse than covers. Yeah. Well, it's, I think, that way with a lot of things. All right. We give you a blessing, and we will find someone to go raid. Let's see, who can we find to raid? We're not going to raid out to my other channel because I'm not going to hang out there, so I don't want to raid. I also don't want to raid every day to my own channel. I don't think that will help. Ooh. Might go there. Let me see if there's another option, but there's a fundraiser going on. That might be fun. Da, 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 da. Oh, you know what? We haven't rated Nice Ann in a while. But I think I'm going to go with the fundraiser. I think that's a good plan. We're going to go over to John L. Music. He's doing a streamathon for fundraising for hospital bills. So hopefully that'll be a fun stream to go over to. Thank you for passing out the cookies. Eyeing your sword thoughtfully. All right, so let me send you off with a blessing. May God's seeking comfort find you. May his loving arms bind you. May his might protect you. May his wisdom direct you. May the joyous love of Jesus Christ be with you and all those you know, both now and forevermore. Amen. Thank you, everyone, for being here. We made it through the month of November for our Bible reading, and so that makes us only like 17 days behind. That sounds like a good place to be. We are not going to. So I've already made a decision. We're not going to try to read Revelation, and so we will skip that. But hopefully, we can try to get through everything else for the year, and we'll see what happens. So let me see if my credits are working. I still need to work on these. Yeah, for some reason, it's not picking up anything that happens in the stream, but I still got the thank you for hanging out. So we've got that as well. So we will start January with Revelation. I want to give it time, and we'll take more time. Yes. But we'll try to finish everything else except Revelation this year. And then we'll start January with Revelation on one day a week at least, maybe two. We'll see what happens.